Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me yet again for another episode of Road to WrestleMania Director's Commentaries. I am Justin Leeper, just in for episode 2 of Triple H's Road to WrestleMania. As we ended Royal Rumble, he was partying a little bit with Ric Flair and Randy Orton. Is that shades of a reunion with Evolution? Perhaps, but also in this installment we have HBK coming in and saying, hey man, you're talking about getting bands back together, what about us? So Triple H is now going to be torn between HBK and Randy Orton, and he's going to have to make a choice in a kind of cool match type. Pay attention to the kind of weaving of heel and face dynamic that we have here for you, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks. Thanks, Justin. Hey guys, it's Justin, and we are hitting it hard with the pyro here, going into week number 5 of Triple H's storyline. Yes, in Chicago.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Should have had a Chicago street fight at some point, you know? Now I want you to notice that there is a timestamp on that picture of Evolution of December 14th, 2003, so that's not what happened last night, which I maybe should have made a little bit more apparent. I obviously wanted to make it apparent by putting that timestamp, but maybe it wasn't that obvious.
Disappeared pretty quick last night, Triple H. Randy and I ended up closing that club. Listen, if you need any help in your match tonight, let me know.
That is showing you that Triple H is not all in with Evolution. He probably had his little drink, and he went home, much like John Travolta did in Pulp Fiction. At least he said he would. Here we're establishing Shawn just had a match. Coming to the back. Triple H waiting for him.
And as usual, he never misses a beat.
They can't keep me away.
And some ad-libbing by HBK on the script.
To WrestleMania without Mr. WrestleMania.
Well, that line starts behind me. Hey, I've got a match with
Good
Kenny.
acting on little
We'll catch
twirly
up later.
fingers, though.
Sounds good. And with all this talk about bands being put back together, you and I should talk.
Shawn planting the seeds for a different type of faction reunion, just so we know that he's got that on his mind. Making sure Triple H does. I'm sure the player does as well, especially when the player's me, but when the player's you, hopefully you're thinking of that as well. And another Kennedy match. I'm overusing Ken Kennedy as jobber status here, and I apologize.
And these two are getting to know each other so well.
Because when you make a mistake in a wrestling game or anything in life, it's important to apologize to those who you may have wronged or who may feel that you've wronged them. That's just common sense. So I'm sorry to those who may think that Ken Kennedy was overused in this story and maybe even Road to WrestleMania as a whole. I see your point.
And he lights up his opponent's chest with that chop. And he strikes at his opponent.
That's a thing when you have friends in this business, or Edge banned from ringside. That means that we will only have Kennedy. You know, those little things are my way of saying, hey, this is probably going to bring the end to this. But like I was saying, when you have friends in this business or any business, you have to make sure to not let that friendship, that fondness for those people kind of infest its way into your decision making. Is that what happened here? Not necessarily. I mean, Ken gives you good performances.
And Mr. Kennedy picking up where they left off less than 24 hours ago.
Roll the dice. Snake eyes, rather. Wasn't there a roll the dice move by that WCW guy named Vegas? That was a badass move.
What's coming next?
Boom.
There it is, the pedigree.
I get. Yeah, this PS4 controller does not do diagonals very well, so I couldn't move him far enough away from the ropes quick enough. Let's do that weird arm trap belly-to-back suplex again that I've never seen performed in real life. Now, I haven't been able to do that swirly right stick thing. I don't know if that ends up being a neck breaker or what. Nah, he's got like no momentum, but still some fighting spirit.
No fear whatsoever. What an amazing superstar. What a counter.
And I blocked that. All right.
We've seen evolution, and now HBK talking about the game's knee connects. We knew these superstars weren't going to be
Can the last-ditch efforts.
But this is too much.
There we go.
Got to be nearing the end, King.
Let's get him away from the ropes.
These superstars have to get.
Here's the pin. Could this be it?
1, 2, 3.
And with the blood on Ken's face, it looks a little bit like that Jokery tattoo on his left arm, which is the same place that Austin Aries has his quote-unquote Aries symbol. All right, giving you another post-match special cutscene.
Why can't that Edge leave well enough alone? If he wants to get in the ring with Triple H and his sledgehammer, it's his funeral.
And mush the bread in the bread basket.
With that, the game not only sent a message to Edge and Mr. Kennedy, but he also showed evolution that he's capable of defending himself.
Yeah, once again, I wanted to bring an end to kind of Edge and Kennedy as your first half adversaries, and also show that Triple H is more than capable of defending himself. I mean, sure, he had a very large, heavy weapon there, but he doesn't necessarily need evolution. He doesn't need Shawn. They almost want him more than he wants them. And here we go to Green Bay, where it's cold, genius. But everybody's wearing t-shirts, so they must have put their jackets at coat check. Can you imagine how big an arena coat check would be? When everybody's got their big starter jackets or whatever that they're checking in. And in Green Bay, it'd be like, yeah, I had a green Packers jacket. Yeah, which one? Well, it's green and has a Packers logo.
Do you know what that means? Puppies? No, it's... Wait! Yes! Puppies! You stole my line.
That was a fun... Now, I don't know if I wrote that line, because that line was so funny of JR actually saying puppies and surprising King. And I hope I didn't talk over that. I hope you saw that. Heard that.
Triple H, we need to talk. I was serious about bringing DX back together.
Where's my WWE branded water?
There's only one thing I need.
You can't honestly be telling me you're going to side with Orton.
Funny. My ears were ringing. HBK, a reunited Evolution is what everyone is dying to see.
Evolution never would have existed without DX. Randy, Triple H is more of a degenerate than you'll ever know.
I love how degenerate's being used as a positive.
I hope you're not listening to his selfish ways.
And selfish ways is kind of a weak statement.
I'm doing
Selfish
just
ways.
fine on my own. But how about this? I'll team with Shawn tonight. And Randy and I will tag next week. Now, does that make everyone happy?
Give me that non-WWE water. Nice little stare down by those two. Now, again, I'm trying to establish that Triple H does not need these guys. He's appeasing them, but he's also keeping his toughness, his edge, his one-on-one thing. But he's teaming with Shawn tonight, which is kind of special.
Ladies and gentlemen, set your video recorders and take note of this historic night. For one night only, one of the greatest teams of all time reunite. And if you're not down with that, I'm sure they got a couple words for you.
Of course, once-in-a-lifetime reunions of DX are more like annual things, but we still make it special, and it's nice to see Lance Cade there, Trevor Murdoch. Of course, Lance Cade, I'm pretty darn sure is no longer with us, and just a big, strong guy, great look, good in the ring. Wrestling takes our heroes away too soon. You know what I mean? I'm not going to dwell on it because I don't want to make this sad. But so let's talk about the big old redneck there in the other corner, Trevor Murdoch, with his belt buckle sign there that somebody's got. Now you can tell Cade and Murdoch are obviously a heel team. And that's because when you team with HBK, you're a babyface team.
He's working the fundamentals there.
Speaking of HBK, let's get him in there. Let's see what kind of double team we have. Alright, a weird sunset flip. And the ref is counting me out as opposed to counting this pin.
And Trevor Murdoch. But they're going to have to dig deep if they're to beat Triple H and Shawn Michaels. In the knuckles.
Can you imagine what that would have done for Cade and Murdoch if they would have, if DX would have put them over? That'd have been crazy, right? I don't know if these two teams have ever actually faced each other. I just thought it'd be fun to, you know, bring these guys in and a nice little change of pace. That's a nice change of pace to watch Sean's AI do his thing. Although Murdoch is abusing his chest. Now, chops hurt. They do. I mean, that noise is hand on skin and kind of bony skin. I've been chopped a lot in my day. I've chopped people a lot in my day. When I was a game journalist / pro wrestler, I used to chop various people. My friend Tony Barrett, Sean Baby, and I exchanged chops. I don't remember if that was shirtless or not, in a hot tub or not. No, it wasn't in a hot tub. But, you know, I think people are surprised just how much a chop hurts. When I did my first show, I got ribbed a little bit being a rookie, and I took a lot of chops, and I'm pretty sure that somebody hit me hard enough that a upper rib in my pec area kind of popped out, and it never healed correctly. So, actually, my right pec kind of sticks out weirdly ever since, which that was, you know, 20 years ago now. And let's trap that arm again. Could you hike those tights up a little bit higher, Murdoch?
He's obviously not feeling too threatened, JR.
He's got those Scottish sideburns. All right, Sean. Same move as before, but maybe they'll get the pin. Nope, I missed blocking Cade there.
And he strikes with the elbow. Just listen to his body crack.
There's a little bit of mayhem here. A little bit of a schmoz.
It could prove to be disastrous.
All right, Sean. Sean with that kind of underappreciated elbow drop of his. But I don't know what that leg lock is. But let's make sure that Cade can't break it up. Well, it's not going to get a sub anyway.
He's intent on leaving a mark on the opponent.
Now me trying to pop up the crowd is not doing anything. Oh, he might get the pin there. All right, let's go in and block. Oh, how did he? Although at least I elbow dropped Murdoch. Right there. All right, you got a finisher there, HBK. Do something with it, or give it to me so I can hit him with a finisher.
Don't tell me he's about to do what I think he's about to
Sweet
do.
chin music. Let me go run interference. Oops. Oops. Uh-oh.
Sweet chin music. I don't believe it.
Uh-oh.
His opponent has one ways to kick out. 3.
Now we missed that bump, but we were able to stop Cade, so that's good. So thanks for making an appearance, Lance Cade, Trevor Murdoch. It's nice that you're not... It's nice that that's their first appearance in this road to WrestleMania. Maybe their only appearance, as far as I know. But especially this, 11 years later, 12 years later, getting to see, I don't think about Cade and Murdoch as a team very often. Even though, good on Murdoch, he seems to be doing pretty well in NWA, which is kind of a throwback organization, so he's a perfect guy for it. They're using guys like Kennedy and Colt Cabana, and I think Nick Aldis is in there. Who else? Not too sure, but owned by Billy Corrigan of the Smashing Pumpkins, who, it's weird how ingrained he's become in pro wrestling now. And I think the booker there is Dave Lagana of my previous story of the WWE writer coming in and kind of screwing me over on these storylines for approval. And if you heard before, I got no ill will against the guy. It was obviously not a great situation for me, but I think I'm over it 11, 12 years later. Because you can't hold grudges, you can't stay mad. You definitely can't hate. Something that Henry Rollins, my mentor, my hero, if there is such a thing, said, is that when you hate somebody, you give them power. You give them a lot of power. Alright, we're teaming with Orton now, so we're going to go heel, and we're teaming against... Man, that's a great throwback team as well, a nostalgic team, or Natsukashi, as we say in Japanese. Kendrick and Paul London. Two individuals that I've had some real-world dealings with. I want to get the win myself here, just to show Randy I'm the King of Kings. You got it. Okay, there's a optional match parameter, so I'll save. Something, I don't know if people ever really commented on this much, even back in that day, but London and Kendrick really, to me, have Bill and Ted vibes. I mean, the Paul London, Keanu Reeves look-alike factor, I think, is a given, but then, you know, Spanky, Brian Kendrick is the shorter, blonder one, just like Bill. Alex Winters, was that his name? Or am I confusing that with the classic rock guy, Edgar Winters? Alright, so London's actually giving me a bit of a challenge here. He's doing some... Oh, look at that, him reversing again. He should have reversed his barber when they wanted to give him that page boy haircut, though. I like the pants. It's interesting how he's in white and Kendrick's in black.
One of the brightest young tag teams of recent years.
And these two, of course, had a really long history, really long title reign in SmackDown. I don't remember how long that title reign was. Was it 180 days? Was it even a year? But not that they had a lot of competition. But they held those titles for a very long time. Kendrick's haircut not that great either. So, Paul London, his older brother Jonathan is a friend of mine, a filmmaker and a very early podcaster. He does something called Geekscape Podcast, and a good dude. And then I used Paul for motion capture when we needed Shooting Star Press, I think in 2011. It was nice to have him. He was only in for maybe a day or two, but it was nice to have him on set. Now I'm not going to tag in Randy because I want to win this win condition, and I may do it right now. Yep, that should do it. Randy running interference. Alright, there we go. Now back to Kendrick. Kendrick is also a Southern California guy, and I lived in LA for about 12 years. But I'll talk more about Kendrick and my interactions with him and the Mickie James story from 2010. So look forward to that. And there's a butt shot of Orton for some reason, which is weird because this is a cutscene that we did exclusively. The babyface are not very happy. Oof. Big spear by Batista. Watch his camera angle on this spine buster. Wah! That's pretty cool. I also really like the kind of Superman punch style clothesline that London threw. This is definitely done by the WWE developmental guys. I imagine that's Ezekiel Jackson there, Ryclon, who was doing Batista. And we unlock Jillian Hall. And look, she doesn't have that thing on her face. Everyone's idol. That's funny. There's actually, me being in Japan, I've been a Japanese Idol fan. There's a girl, Momo-chan, who calls herself everybody's idol. She was in the group Barry's Kobo. Shout me out in the comments if you're a Hello Project fan, because I've been a Morning Musume otaku for quite some time. Ignore me if you don't know what any of that stuff means. As we move on, so we just had a tag match with the babyface HBK. We had a tag match with the babyface Randy Orton. Now what are we going to do? Besides a nice crowd pan here in the Motor City. It's a Motor City madhouse.
We've seen in the last few weeks that Triple H has a tough decision to make.
I know the feeling, JR. The finals of this year's Diva Search contest have been announced, and I don't know who to vote for.
That's a shame, King.
That's a shame, King.
Anyway, Shawn Michaels and Randy Orton are scheduled to battle for the WWE.
Now look at that announcement. It's going to be Shawn and Orton for the championship. And once again, we haven't gotten our rematch yet. It was week 3 when we had a title match against Orton, and we have not sniffed the championship belt since then. So I would imagine that would make Triple H a little upset.
You can't be blind, Triple H. Orton manipulated Batista last week to get involved. We don't need to go down that road, Hunter. DX was about entertaining and having a good time, not about manipulation. I hope you do some serious soul searching, my friend.
Soul searching. Compelling argument from Shawn Michaels there. Good delivery on that voiceover line as well. Oh, and Shelton Benjamin. Excellent. What an athlete Shelton Benjamin is.
Emotional turmoil of recent weeks. This should be a straightforward match.
I mean, the way that he can just jump up to the top rope, his vertical is impressive.
Benjamin's no pushover, JR. You have to wonder how the game's emotional state may affect the outcome of this match.
And Shelton Benjamin sporting San Francisco 49ers colors, or is he sporting Kansas City Chiefs colors? For those who aren't into sports ball, the 49ers and the Chiefs are the 2 teams that are going to be playing in the Super Bowl this year, and they both wear that color scheme. Now, Shelton Benjamin I first saw at a dark match at a Minnesota TV taping, and he was teaming with Brock Lesnar. And they came out with Jesse Ventura, another Minnesota hero, so they were definitely over. They were both in developmental. And for the finish, Brock Lesnar did a shooting star press, and it was amazing. So imagine my surprise at WrestleMania against Kurt Angle when I saw Brock Lesnar climbing to the top rope as well. I knew what was coming. I was calling for it to come, and didn't really work out, did it? That was a nasty. You can see I think it was his left foot kind of slipped on the ropes, and man, he pretty much landed on his head. Ooh, that's an interesting move. Speaking of landing on your head, little neck breaker there. Oops. Nice uppercuts there, or hooks.
And it goes for the neck break.
Right, Shelton's a game competitor in this game. Oh, and there's the struggle pedigree. Cool that there are 2 different ones. Seeing as how, again, Triple H does not have a lot of offense.
Well, there it is. That's the match.
And thanks for coming, Shelton. Say hi to your mama for me. But let's never have her get in the ring again. Alright, let's cut a promo.
All I hear these days is DX or Evolution. I go out to eat. I don't hear smoking or non-smoking. I hear DX or Evolution. I go to the store. They don't ask me paper or plastic. The guy says DX or Evolution. Randy, Shawn, you two put me in the middle of this. Fine. I'll be in the middle. At your WWE Championship match at No Way Out, I'm gonna be the guest referee.
Oh my goodness, JR! What a shocking turn of events! I'm sure Orton...
Man, I'm pretty happy with that cutscene. I mean, Bryce does a great job in motion capture. Hunter does a really good job in that voiceover. Really kind of selling that he's kind of tired and frustrated to be in the middle, but it's what he's going to do, and we're going to be guest referee at No Way Out. So we are going to sniff the title, but we're going to have to hand it to either Shawn Michaels or Randy Orton. Should be fun. guest referee is, I think, something that hadn't been in the game for a while that I had Ukes bring back for this match. And I think it really suits the storyline. And again, I'm sorry if I'm kind of putting over my own stuff so much. See, the thing is, when you're a creator, right, and you leave your creation for a while, when you come back to it, it's both old and new to you. Because you see it through almost fresh eyes, but at the same time, you remember it. So it's kind of a double, I like that sign. The game is if he works at Foot Locker.
Championship. Randy Orton defends against the
rematch.
Shawn Michaels.
Okay.
The announcement on Raw that Triple H is going to be the guest ref. Who knows what's going to happen?
Unfortunately, we could not get the budget or time to do a Triple H ref t-shirt model.
Triple H, I'm sure you realize Evolution is where you belong. HBK is only using you to get to the WWE Championship. If you make sure I win tonight, we can rule WWE together. I'm counting on you.
Now, Randy doing that tactic where you accuse your opponent of doing something that you yourself are doing. Let's see what Shawn has to say.
Evolution is trying to buy your favor, Triple H. You're smarter than that. All I'm asking is that you be smart in the match and do the right thing. Call it down the middle. Of course, if you want to pedigree Randy just for fun, I can't stop you.
And we see the two differences. We see that the heel Orton is really trying to seduce.
Randy Orton and HBK want to play the game? Then it's game on. The match is in my hands. If I want to reform D-Generation X, I should make sure Shawn wins. If I want to be part of Evolution again, Randy should win.
So there, we're kind of laying it out for you. But as I was saying, Randy is kind of trying to seduce Triple H onto his side, and Shawn is just saying, hey man, call it down the middle, that's all I ask. I don't know why when I was meeting Triple H at WWE headquarters, I did not bring up this storyline, and I didn't bring up the Jericho storyline from Road to WrestleMania 2011 to see if he remembered it. He probably doesn't, but you never know.
And here we go with the main event. Can you feel the electricity? Can you feel the emotion, JR?
It's Shawn Michaels versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. But they have to know the match isn't in their hands. That honor belongs to the wild card, the unknown quantity, the special referee, Triple H.
Nice dueling chants there for a minute. I think I was able to put in requests for different chants when they did the chant recording session. So I think we had them saying both of those things. I don't think that's a normal thing. So usually I'm sure that when people played this, they had a result in mind. But I'm going to go a little different here, and I'm just going to call it down the middle, and we'll see who gets it. Now, I imagine most people probably, I wish I had the data, but I think most people would have voted to reunite DX because they're the babyface team because they had such a great run. But I'm going to call it down the middle and we'll see what happens. So I've never done refereeing, but I've been in enough matches where I know how the ref should be in position.
You know what they say, desperate men do desperate things.
All right, Shawn, what are you grabbing there? Cut that
A
out.
simple move that sets up bigger things.
Watch that closed fist.
Oh, what a painful kick.
You gouging the eye? You gouging the eye?
Working the fundamentals there.
Hey, I'm telling you, that's a closed fist. Cut it out. One.
Underestimate the sheer force behind this superstar's punches.
This way, too, the match will probably go a little bit longer than it would if I was...
On these competitors' minds is how will Triple H call this match.
I can tell you right now, the game will call this match the way that suits his needs.
Stop choking. Oops. Tried to stop the choking and end up stomping Shawn.
To his opponent.
But this way, I think that we'll be able to hear a lot more of the exclusive commentary like that just was than if I would play an active role in the result of this match. Hey, stop it.
He hits his opponent with the elbow.
And he strikes the opponent with a quick kick.
Oh.
This is a risky move.
Oh, I get to call. I get to count.
He's going for it all.
Get in.
2,
Nice.
A vicious stomp.
3,
3.
4.
What impact from the knee?
6.
Oh, I'm glad they went to the outside. That way I could work on my counts. I wonder if that's part of the AI programming, is to make sure that they try to go outside so we could work on the countouts.
Sharp kick wearing down his opponent.
Because I don't know if you did a singles match with these two, I don't know that they would go outside.
And he hits him with an
Uh-oh, a finisher by Orton.
Looks like he's trying for a pin here. He's not going to get the 3 count.
I was trying to do a 2 there, but I think I'm trying to do a nice even count, but maybe if you wait too long, it just stops the count.
And he hits him with an impressive combination of kicks.
One thing's obvious. If we're to
The
have
Garvin
a
Stomp.
Triple H will have to take a side through.
And you just know Triple H had the winner pick before the opening bell.
Looks like he's trying for a pin.
Hey. Stop that. I see what you're doing there, Randy.
The 3 count without doing some more damage first.
As the exclusive commentary said there, Triple H is going to have to call a winner here. I like that they did that. I really like having this exclusive commentary to really sell the match.
Suplex was picture perfect.
Oh, Shawn popping up.
And he strikes the opponent with a quick kick.
But Orton's getting the finisher up.
Down with the drop kick.
And they both have signature moves.
He almost took his opponent's head off with that lariat. A hard right hand. Knocking his
Not a big fan
opponent
of the animation on the European uppercut. But hey, Randy Orton's not from Europe. He's from St. Louis. So maybe a St. Louis, quit choking. Maybe a St. Louis uppercut is not as devastating. Ooh, good counter by HBK. I think he just countered that signature move by Randy.
He almost took his opponent's head off with that lariat.
Shawn's kind of behind. He's got some catching up to do, but he's got some good momentum. Oh,
And there's the cover.
no, that's a rope break, guys.
There's no way that was going to be a 3 count. In the
I
knuckles.
really wish I would have had a referee shirt for Triple H. That's unfortunate. But that would have had to be a whole new model. That's the way that...
And there is
One of the ways that
stiff
Ukes is a little bit antiquated was they have these big 20,000 polygon models. And if you want to change anything about it, it basically requires making a brand new model.
What a counter!
So that I assume would have taken... Ukes probably would have come back with us and said, okay, it's going to be 5 days cost to make that Triple H thing, and I had to go, well, we don't have time, or we don't have that budget right now to do. But I wish I would have done it.
Just listen to his body crash into the ground.
Oh, nice block, nice dodge on that drop kick.
And
Shawn's
a
still behind though.
decision lies
He's hurting.
ahead for Triple H. When his hand counts 3, there will be no way out of the game's decision. I think fatigue is setting
No
here.
way out
I
of
don't
the
think
game's
this is
decision.
gonna last too
Way to
much
work in
longer.
that pay-per-view name, guys. And by guys, I mean me and JR, I suppose. Ooh,
Brutal.
that was almost a razor's edge. Did you learn that in the ladder match against Razor Ramon?
A hard right hand.
All right, Shawn's definitely
Down.
trying to even the odds, but his head is in the red. Oh, no.
This could be
It's
a
another
pinfall.
rope break, guys.
He's not going to get the 3 count without doing some more damage first.
But Shawn is definitely hurt. Oops, sorry, I'm in the way.
By God, folks, that's some impact.
And Orton is targeting that neck and head area.
It all may be
And
coming to
also
a
the
close.
arm.
Michaels versus Orton. Triple H has to make a decision.
Uh-oh.
He has to make the count. Who will he choose? Their fate
Oof.
belongs to the game. The referee
What do you say, Shawn? You want to keep going? Uh-oh. Here comes the punt.
And the Orton boot connects.
And when you look at his
If he goes for the
opponent's
pin,
head, it
all right.
snapped off.
We could be
One,
looking at a pinfall here, folks.
2, 3. Wait, no. Come on, man. Quick 1, 2, 3.
Well,
That's it.
like it or not, this
I had to make that ruling. I mean, he actually stayed down for a 5 count in Better Than Utopia rules. Called it down the middle, I think you'd say. And I'm not very happy about giving him that belt. Or title or championship.
From Triple H. Triple H just did his job, Ross. He officiated the match. It looks like Evolution may be back, folks. And Shawn Michaels cannot be happy with how it's went down.
Yeah, Triple H looking unhappy. Now, if I would have really been biased, it probably would have looked a little bit weird to have that end cutscene. But I'll save in a different spot because we might go back and we'll go back and do the Shawn one later. But that's it for episode 2 of HBK. I'm sorry, that's it for episode 2 of Triple H. Thanks for watching. I'll get the other one out quick, and then we'll do an alternate take at some point. So please stay tuned for that. Subscribe. Notifications. Yeah. See ya.
Thanks for watching, and please like this video, and please subscribe, and have a lovely day.